Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is year 2, episode 5. Full year, every day, daily episodes for 1 year. Plus, this is the 5th episode on that second year. Sending out a special shout out to everybody who's been checking out the replays. Definitely shout out to everybody who has been checking this out live, coming into the rooms, being in tune. I definitely appreciate all of the support, all of the attention, and all of the absorption of the information. Tonight, we had a great Clubhouse discussion. For those of you not familiar, I'm on Clubhouse 6 p.m. So check my stories, check my posts to let you guys know what the conversation topic is about. There you go. For you guys to hear what the conversation is about and the topics, stay tuned to my posts. Again, definitely focusing on expanding, focusing on going into different realms and having these conversations and bringing this awareness, and just putting ourselves in a space to continuously grow. This is what we do. This is what my platform is about and has always been about. So tonight was no different. Great discussion. So I'm going to have another one set up for tomorrow. So definitely be sure to tune into Clubhouse to be a part of that. Today, before I get into today, how is everybody feeling? Let me know in the comments how everybody is doing today. We are in, what is this, Monday? The days blur together for me, but how are you guys doing? How you feeling? What's on your mind? Tay, what's up? Still Kai, what's going on? Trina, what's going on? Isaiah, how you doing? Still Kai says I missed it again. Yeah, you gotta tune in. Dawn, what's up? What's happening? Yeah. Great conversation as usual. Shout out to Versus. I when I jumped in there, it was some talking. So it was like a conversation. So I guess they were reminiscing and things like that. So I pretty much caught some of the replay, and I felt super nostalgia. And I wasn't even born at that time. That's not even my era. But I felt like I was part of that era because I listen to a lot of their music now, and it's very inspirational, and it's right up my alley because the concept of love and at its purest is how these particular artists delivered it. That's how they communicated it through their music, and so it resonates with me personally. It's something that I definitely think needs to come back in a lot of different ways, and just the romance of it and how they conceptualize and communicate it. Just love period through all of their music, and how they exuded that as men in the community and in the industry. So definitely shout out to them. You know what I mean? But yeah, today was dope. Today was good. Some manifestations today. As we all put our energy into certain things, into certain outcomes that we desire, that we want to happen. Certain things, you got to pay attention to the signs. A lot of times, and so today was definitely one of those days. Actually ran into somebody who I didn't expect to, but definitely beautiful soul, somebody that you all know. I'm not gonna put her name out there, but definitely was able to connect with her today, and that was a highlight. Somebody prominent, just in the game and doing a lot of great things And it was an interesting, really interesting conversation. And I'm definitely glad it happened, so that was good. The weather was great. Was out, spending time with my daughter, the connection, we having a great time, so things, a lot of highlights, from today. So it's always a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? So today I wanted to talk about the rescuer. Crystal, what's up? So today I want to talk about the rescuer, and sort of on the tail end of some of our conversation on Clubhouse, there was a little bit about just how certain people felt in relationships, doing a lot of things, taking care of a lot of things, and getting used to that. The concept of getting used to providing a certain energy, or even over-providing, over-supporting, over-sacrificing. Nancy, what's up? Over-sacrificing or putting oneself last, and putting someone else first. Maybe early in a relationship, early in the dating process, and considering one's standards last, considering one's priorities last, and being in a people-pleasing state of mind, and being somebody who is geared around making the best impression, but not necessarily vetting someone to make an impression on you that's positive. So certain people make it under the gate, or over the gate, because it's too low. And a lot of times, with the rescuer mentality, you find yourself in a space where you're overcommitting, but you're not over receiving. So it's out of proportion, and you can find yourself in spaces where you don't even realize that you're over dedicated. You don't realize how much energy you're actually putting out, and how what's actually going on, and how you're putting yourself in a space to where you can't fully regulate the over effort, because in actuality you're kind of benefiting from it. And what happens is you're not benefiting from your partner. You're not getting it from your partner, but you're getting, number one, the fleeting satisfaction of proving your core beliefs right. And a lot of times the core beliefs of the rescuer is that, love comes from effort. Love comes from over supporting and leading with the support, leading with the energy, leading with the giving, and that somehow you will earn reciprocation, even though you haven't seen reciprocation for those efforts. And in all actuality, if you did receive reciprocation, you may reject it. You may be even in a position where you won't even allow yourself to date certain people that you can read as people who will reciprocate, who will give to you, who will, provide you with everything that you deserve, everything that you're asking for. So, it really becomes a vicious cycle. It really becomes a vicious cycle that a lot of people, complain about, because, I know rescuers, and you know, I'm definitely in the process of, you know, trying to help them to reach the other side, because you know, again, what happens is a lot of times in those rescuer mentality, those rescuer situations, is where you'll date somebody and you'll be the rescuer, because rescuers pick over givers pick over takers. So you're prone to picking people who take more than the average person because you're giving more than the average person. So, you know, by virtue of proportion and all of that, that seems to work in on paper context. But when you actually get into it, doesn't work, doesn't pan out, or you ride it until you can't anymore, till it falls apart. Then you say, okay, you pick up the pieces and say, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. But what happens is you unknowingly, or maybe you're conscious of this aspect, you say, well, my next one, you pick the thing that caused you to break up. And you say, I'm not gonna allow myself to have that in my next relationship. So it may be that person doesn't introduce you to friends. It may be this person doesn't communicate. It may be that this person, you know, is unfaithful. So you say, okay, an unfaithful man, I'm not gonna tolerate anybody who's been unfaithful. So you go and find the next person. Before you heal this behind the scenes, you go, you find the next person. The next person is maybe never cheated. Maybe they're the most loyal person in that lane, that element. So you think you solved it. You found the right person. You got it. You did it. But sooner or later you realize you're in the same situation. You're in the same dynamic that you were before. You're still the giver. It'll find its way. It'll find its way because you can read people in need. I'm gonna say that, put that on a shirt or something. Don't. But you can read people in need, meaning you've been trying to prove your worth through action so long that you know how to point out somebody who's broken so that you can fix them. It's the same thing in the streets, right? Let's say you a stick up kid or somebody who robs people. That's what you do. You get your money from robberies. In order to master that game, you have to know how to pick a victim, how to from a far away scope out and see the type of person that's an easy vic that you can get in there, take what you need. That's probably weak. They probably walk a certain way. They probably don't have, they probably, their body language exudes a certain level of weakness. You can maybe see, okay, they probably don't have a gun anywhere. They're oblivious. Maybe they're in their headphones. Maybe they're talking. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe they're nervous looking. So you look for these certain aspects, behaviors, so that you can get your needs met in your process of getting them met. So if you're a rescuer, your need is to fulfill your core belief that love for you only comes from over-sacrifice, from over-giving. Now, you can't over-give with a person who is a giver or a person who has a lot, right? A person who's stable, a person who has a lot to offer, a person who has a lot to bring to the table, and wants to cater to you. This person distorts and does not connect and is incongruent with your mindset. Now, your mindset is irrational, but until it's healed and balanced, you think from this place. And it's a place of safety. It's a space of predictability for you. The problem is it'll never end right. No matter how right it feels, it will never end correctly. You'll never find the end to this cycle until you face what you're scared of, which is not being valuable if you're not overgiving. The fear is that if you let off the pedal, Sean, what's up? Liz, what's up? The fear is if you let off of the pedal, as far as the overgiving and the supporting, the fixing, the build-a-bear and everything that you're doing for this person and not requesting anything back. The fear is that once you withhold or once you balance yourself and request something back from friends, from romantic partners, once you request for them to hey, in order for me to give all of this, you got to give me something back. You got to be faithful. You got to connect, right? You got to put energy into this. The second you say that, everybody in your life's going to disappear. And you will have no one on the planet left that has any love for you, because the point that they loved about you is now gone, because your value was not in you. Your value was in what you could give, what you could provide, what you could heal in somebody else, right? So it becomes very difficult to get out of these types of patterns because, again, fear is a major background driver. Like, this is the unseen hand behind a lot of the way that you think, a lot of the ways that you act, a lot of, you know, the situations you end up in, the relationships you get in, and then the relationships you're scared to leave so that you stay in. All fear driven in the background and interconnected to the way that you feel about yourself and your value to the world. And especially the people that, you know, you want to be around you. So, you know, again, it's something that you have to gradually move through. But the biggest thing to focus on with this type of mentality is to be disobedient to fear. This is the thing that I always recommend, is like, you know, you have to remember what fear is doing and how it's operating, and to start to be gradually disobedient to it. And the more you do so, the more empowered you become, the stronger you become, and you know, the more capable you are of turning the tides, because it's not about jumping from one to the other thinking that, okay, because, and here's a common misconception, that because, it's hypothetical, because I haven't dated anybody in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, that I'm good and I've healed that just by virtue of stepping out of the game, not knowing that when you step back in, you're going to resume. You only paused it. You're going to resume exactly where you left off, in perspective, unless things change, right? Unless there's an internal shift or change. Because if things remain the same, you staying out of the dating game and just and thinking that in alone is gonna help, or change a mentality. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. And I think a lot of times, you know, that makes people disappointed, because you may take 5 years off because your last relationships were terrible. You take some years off, and then you get back in, and then you start doing the same, or finding the same types, or starting to attract the same energy, and you feel like, well, what was I taking the time off for? Time off from use or from activity heals broken legs, This is why we have casts and things like that. This helps, being stable and not moving an arm or a leg that has been injured or broken or fractured is healing. So this is where the confusion comes in, because there are parallels between physical injuries and emotional injuries. There are parallels, but they are not exactly the same. They're not exactly the same. So I think, especially because of the fact that emotional wounds are unseen. So you don't always, it's kind of tricky sometimes to know whether you healed or not. And then once more, fear can give you the illusion that you're ready. You might get a jump start or a second win from fear of being single forever can disguise itself as readiness to date. Did y'all know that? Fear of being single forever can disguise itself as being ready to date. Just because you want it, and it's getting to that point where you're kind of scared that so you may hit the point where, oh yeah, no, I'm good, I feel, really. And this is why sometimes I'll bring some of you guys on live and just talk on camera, just chop it up, just to see, are there still remnants, or there still has healing occurred? Because, I think I can is a natural part of some, being in close proximity to something that you want, right? You want a certain out. It's the same thing with you've seen the classic, basketball player movie where there's an injury and then they're going against doctor's orders. No, I'm ready. Look, they got one crutch up, one leg all twisted up. They're like, no, I got it. No, I'm ready. I'm coach, trust me. And then they go in there, the leg fall off, and then they pick the leg back and they put a prosthetic and sit your ass down, man. Now you're really injured now. You're really injured now. And I do believe it's similar. I'm saying? That desire sometimes puts us in that space where I'm ready. I'm sure I'm ready. And then you jump back in and you get disappointed and things like that. So I think that, it's funny. Sean is funny. Kareem, what's up, bro? So I think in that respect, it's one of those things where we have to really focus on the actual healing and prioritize the actual growth. And I think sometimes we want to jump out prematurely, right? We want to hop on. It feels like, okay, I've been doing this too long. There's nobody in the bed. I need somebody in the bed. I need something. You know what I mean? It's gotta. Let me get back out there. And not to say that you can't do that, but there's a certain way to play the game. And if there's a desperate energy within you, you will repel the exact thing that you're looking for. So if there's fear in the background, if there is bracing for impact, right? We might desire something, but then hop in the game and then be, disillusioned or feel like a lot of times we can want things that we don't feel are possible in the back of our mind. So we're playing now that's a fruitless game. If we jump in a game that in the back of our mind we don't even believe it's ever going to work out, but we're in there and we allow ourselves to get frustrated and emotionally just pinball to the point where why even do it? If it's all of that going on, why even do it? And that's why I say, look, when you're ready, when you don't give a damn, when you could care less. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? There's no finish line. There's no trophy. There's no winner's circle. There's no graduation, cap and gown. I think it's really about when your wholeness doesn't depend on anything external. So your happiness doesn't depend on anything outside. Any potential future outcome is not the end all be all for you, to where you will literally dedicate every last ounce of yourself to capture this thing. And if you don't have it, you know, there's this imbalanced emotional triggering that's happening. Cause that ain't fun to me. I don't look at dating like that. I don't want to play a game where I gotta be extra nervous or anxious, or I don't trust nothing. Everybody's lying and there's no way, but I want it, but I can't. But then, I'm on dating apps 30 hours a week, and it's like a search and rescue mission. I'm FBI. That's a lot for me. That's not no ill will or disrespect to anybody who's heavily in the game like that. But for me, I'm not playing that. That's not a game. That's not a good game to me. Like I wanna feel amazing, whether it's with you or not. I wanna feel amazing whether I meet this person tomorrow or 2 years from now. I wanna feel amazing across the board and be able to maintain that in an independent way. So if you come in, that's a bonus. We vibrate the same, we resonate, that's a bonus. You change, you get different, you self-sabotage and disappear, I'm great again. I'm great again. Why? Because I was great before you. So I'm great after. And I'm grateful because I can learn from experiences. However this turns out, I'm gonna draw from it. I'm gonna learn from it. That's the mission anyway. To learn and draw from our experiences. Whether they make us sad or not, there's jewels to be taken. There's energy to be salvaged. There's so much to gain from the process. That's why I say, even in dating. Because if you look at it as do or die, if you feel like, you know, you're in a situation where you're diffusing a bomb, right? You know that nervousness where you're like, if it's the wrong wire, the whole place is gonna blow. You shouldn't feel like that. To where you're on a date and this person's gotta be the right person, and if it's not, the whole game is busted, it's rigged. I think somebody said before, somebody pissed in the dating pool. I'm like, wow, good luck swimming in it then. That makes you not even want to be in the game. That's what I'm saying. So it's one of those things, man. And we always have to, just regulate, just focus on how are we feeling. Are we playing a game that we're trying to lose? Are we in a game that we don't really believe we can win? Then what are we playing for? What are we playing for? And so enjoy the process. And if you're not, watch your triggers. If you're not, something's going on. Look under the hood and continue to evolve, So, and if you're not sure how, definitely be sure to click the link in my bio. I can help you in any of these arenas, whether that's one-on-one coaching or that's from, the daily uploads that I've been putting up, articles that I've been writing, exclusive podcasts I've been recording. Like this is something I take dead serious as far as you being able to circumvent these elements of your life that have been plaguing you for a long time. When it comes to this dating process, when it comes to mental health and its connection, when it comes to life purpose and its connection or disconnection, all of these things can be made to make sense, to make sense, and to, take you to the next level of health, of positivity, of wellness in general. So, we need to be focusing on that if at all possible. But this has been my time. I sound like a stand-up comedian. It's been my time. I thank you guys for always supporting, always being a part of the process. Shout out to my Patreon members. And again, if you guys know anybody who could benefit from the platform, I'm definitely looking to reach as many people as I can to have as many people as possible be a part of their own healing, to have something that's operating 24 hours a day, it's accessible 24 hours a day for the purpose, the sole purpose of just overall, evolution. You know what I'm saying, and manifesting the things that you all deserve to have. So have a good night, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.